You're listening to Edge Radio TV. The views and opinions expressed in this program are that of the host or guests, and not the Edge Radio Network or its advertisers or affiliates.
Hey, welcome to Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I am Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrix Scott. We're here to delight and entertain you about some sexual health topics.
Yes, we are certified sex therapists and licensed marriage and family therapists in the wonderful city of Houston, Texas. And we're smart. Sometimes.
Smart.
SMRT.
Super smart.
That's how Bart spelled it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so coming up a little bit, just to give you guys an update on what's going on with us. So I get my second shot today.
Woo!
I know. I'm excited but nervous on it. I have a full caseload of clients tomorrow and Wednesday, so I'm really hoping it doesn't drop me on my ass.
Yeah, I took mine. I'm not scheduling at all.
Yeah, you were smart.
Yeah.
She was SMRT.
Yeah.
I was stubborn. Like a bull.
Yeah, so we may or may not be filming next week. We don't know how I'm going to feel.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get yours on Saturday. Hendrix gets her second shot on Saturday, so we will hopefully be back. And we film on Mondays. I know we tell you that. So if, hopefully we will be filming next Monday, which would be wonderful because next Monday we're hoping to have a guest on the show. Her name is Janelle Marie Pierce. She's amazing, and she's going to be talking to us about sexually transmitted infections. She runs the STI project, so we're going to be talking about STIs because April is chock full of a bunch of shit, you guys.
It's awareness month for a lot of shit.
Yeah, so it's STI awareness month. It's
testicular cancer awareness month,
yes.
infertility awareness week
is the last week, and so also, it's also stress awareness month. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm stressed. Yeah. I'm stressed thinking about the topic already walking in today. So if I'm doing like this, also I never wear my hair down. I'm just trying to be on fleek. Oh, we're not saying on fleek anymore. But
I would that's so old. That's so old. Like 2 years ago.
But I do stuff like this whenever I'm like, I'm going to be whimsical today. And then I'm like, Hendrix, you're not whimsical. Stop trying to be whimsical. Like
you could be a unicorn.
Oh, no, I'm definitely a unicorn.
Well, that's
I'm just
whimsical.
I'm a goth unicorn.
Well, that's still whimsical. Yeah. I'm a fairy.
Oh, you would be. Yeah.
You would be.
Yeah.
I'm a delightful little pixie.
But man, no, stress awareness month. I mean, I guess like a little bit of tips maybe?
So I would say, first of all, like acknowledging your stress.
Yeah.
Man, acknowledge it. It's real. It happens. It's okay. And, I love like positive stressors are still stress. So like sometimes having a baby. Right, a lot of people that really want a baby. That's a positive stressor.
Oh, we'll get that.
Though.
People don't want to complain. They're like, "Well, I finally had this baby, so I should be like, feeling 100% positively about it all the time." And it's like, you don't have to do that.
Right, or getting married and planning a wedding. That's a shit ton of stress for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even getting a promotion at work, like that sounds wonderful and great, but that often comes with extra responsibilities, and so it's it's a positive stressor. So your body will still feel the stress the same, whether it's coming from a negative event or a positive event.
Yeah. Do you let your clients know whenever you're stressed out?
Sometimes, yeah, because I think I've said this on air before, like I don't hide a whole hell of a lot on this face. This mug will tell you what I'm thinking and
think
feeling.
Our loyal fans know that, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for your loyalty, guys. And we love you. She's our number one fan girl. Loved having her last week. But so yeah, like sometimes I definitely will be like, I'm sorry guys, like I just got some stuff going on. I'm here. But
that's true. Like I'll let them know. Or if I just heard something wild and you're walking in next, I'll be like, I mean, clearly they don't see each other, so I'm not like disclosing anything. I'll just be like, hey, I heard some wild things today. some really heavy shit.
Yeah.
Just give me about 30 seconds. I'm going to reset. Let me drink my water, and then I'll be right there.
Yeah.
But clients are generally pretty like, oh, man. They always definitely want to know, and you're like, I can't tell you shit. I can't tell you anything, but I do need you to know, like, I'm stressed, and just give me a second. I also think it's good modeling for us, for, like, the professional to be like, hey.
Like, I know there are a lot of therapists that just completely wall off and are very much like, and it, like, almost when they smile, it doesn't reach their eyes kind of smile. Yeah. And, I don't know. Good for them. I guess.
I understand some people need that.
I get it. I don't, I don't blame them for it. But I have found in my personal experience that a lot of my clients really like the more real aspect where I'm like, oh my God, let me tell you. Like, I think most of my clients know I live with my mother right now, and like, I love you, Mom. It's not about you. She never watches this show. My dad does, but not my mom.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, hi, Pops.
Hey, Pops.
But so they know that I'm like, I live up in Conroe, and it's a long drive, and like there's nothing around for miles. It takes 20 minutes just to get to a store, and that's annoying. So they,
I got you. See, people don't know, like, but again, we've talked about it. My stuff leads to more questions and then more questions and then more questions and then more, like, it goes down this rabbit hole where I'm like, we cannot spend this talking about it.
Yeah. I definitely make sure that I cut it off. But it's, if I've just driven in from Conroe and my next client, I'm like, traffic, you guys, am I right? I hate traffic. It is definitely an anxiety producer for me. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about stress management techniques. So when you're in traffic,
get to social support and get together with your friends. There we go. Just modeled it.
Yeah. Bitch away. Just bitch away. Sometimes you need to.
I feel like recognizing that you're overwhelmed and recognizing that you need help is a big one for stress awareness.
Huge.
Of like, you don't have to carry everything on your own. No. Like, know whenever you have to reach out to a person, to a therapist, to a friend, to a family. Yeah.
And no, like, when one of your friends or family members reaches out to you because they're stressed, and this is going to sound kind of wonky, but it's okay to tell them, you know what, like, I love you. I would love to be here for you, but I've got stuff too. Yeah. And so I can't give you as much of me as I would like. And that's okay. Yeah. And they can, understand that you may get the same response when you reach out to people, that we all have lives. That doesn't mean don't reach out, because you can still, even just somebody saying like, I love you and I wish I could be there more for you right now. Yeah. Sometimes can be very helpful to understand like, hey, I'm not the only one going through shit.
Yeah. And I don't know if this is healthy or unhealthy, but I tier off my people. So if you're in the top tier, you pretty much always have access to me. That's not a problem. And then once you're outside of that tier, then I'll be like, no, I absolutely can't do this.
So Hendrix's friends, if you've been told, no, I cannot do this, you're not in the top tier.
Hey, only my top tier is watching this in the first place.
So she says.
I love you guys. Yeah. But no, I feel like you should know boundaries and know whenever you're somebody's family or not. Like, like if you've reached a certain level of like intimacy with me, then you'll probably always have that access. But if we kind of don't know each other in that way, and we don't spend that kind of time, or you don't even know about my life, like it's whenever people who like, we don't have a bond to carry that of like, hey, I need to know this right now, then I'm like, I just won't answer. But I expect the same. Like if I'm bothering someone with information, I don't expect them to answer back.
Agreed.
I'm like, if you're overwhelmed, like just let me know, and you come to me whenever you can answer whatever question I ask.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Some other good stress management techniques are, I know God, it sounds so trite, and I almost hate mentioning it to people these days, but like meditation, yoga.
I know. It just works.
It works.
It works.
And you guys, we may have to do this one day, like just take a little bit of my favorite meditation. I know I've talked about it before. I think I talked about it last time, maybe even. It's called Fuck That, an honest meditation. Like we may have to do that a little bit on the air one day and just.
It's good.
It's
golden.
So good. Yeah. It's so good. It makes me laugh, at the same time as it makes me breathe.
Yeah. And also people don't or maybe, I don't know what people realize. What the fuck do I know? You can learn meditation, get really good at it. You're going to slack off. Like, it's going to happen, and it's not going to be like, I'd say I learned it like 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. But whenever I stopped doing it for 6 months or a year or whatever, I can more easily go back into it. Like having a routine, even if you don't keep it 100% of the time, it's at least still there. There's muscle memory. There's, I don't have to start all over again and relearn this. I can go right here and pick up where I left off.
That's how I am with walking. I love to walk. Walking is one of my favorite things to do. And so about a year ago or a couple years ago, I started walking on a regular basis, and oh my God, that just really, really helped. But I haven't walked very much in the last several months because it's cold and I don't walk in the cold. I have a cute little button nose. I don't want to freeze off. But recently I started walking like on Thursday I walked for an hour. Friday I walked for 8 miles.
Damn. All right.
Saturday I walked for 6.5 miles.
Man, I was all happy about my like 5 miles during the day. Shit.
So, but it is interesting how it just comes back to you, because I hadn't walked for a while. And now, granted, my calves today and this weekend are in fuego, and so is my ass. But that's okay. It's popping. It's like it's not used to going up hills, and I'm going up hills. It's fine, but it feels good. It feels really good to be back in nature and to walk and to get back into that practice.
I agree.
So yeah, if there's something that you haven't done for a while, if COVID has stopped you from doing things, if you've been stuck in that depression and in that stress, like try and start it back up. Like I think you'll find that it comes easier to you than you realize.
Yeah, and stress awareness about what are you thinking about whenever you are on walks.
Yeah.
Like, are you sitting there worrying about the stress, or like are you just like amplifying it while you're working out? Maybe try to be aware of that and be like, oh, I gotta
definitely
turn my brain somewhere else.
Yeah. So any other stress management, coping skills, techniques?
I don't know. I think just say no. Like
just say no. Just say no. Say no to drugs, guys. Do you remember here? Drug abuse resistance education. Yes, I still remember it.
God, that was just anyway.
Just
that
say
was
no.
The worst. But I think it's fitting for this episode because this month is.
So leading into our main topic, y'all, it's gonna be a little bit of a heavy show today. We're talking about sexual assault. This is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and so we want to recognize that this might trigger some people. We aren't planning on going into like any deep, heavy stories. So
yeah, we won't be telling graphic stories.
Right. So do be aware of that. We're not going to be giving you any sort of graphic details. We're going to be going over some definitions of different things, some consequences you might face in the great state of Texas.
Maybe some personal stuff because we know people are curious and they're going to ask anyway. So
yes.
Whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Some different stats and things like that. And then, of course, we want to end it with how you can help survivors, things you can say to them, things, God, don't say to them.
Oh my God.
And so stick around because this is going to be a really important show. We will try as much as we can to put some brevity in places, but it's going to be a lot of good information. And I think, just to throw out this one thing real quick, like neither one of us knows anybody really who hasn't been sexually harassed at the bare minimum, yet let alone sexually assaulted. Yeah. So it affects everybody.
Everyone. Also, if you have kids and you have no idea how to talk to your teens, watch this. We really can help. We can help you. Like you'll be like, oh, I feel like I got a bigger grasp on that, and I can go forward and talk about this.
Right. Well, not just teens. Like oh man, it starts at a young age. Nobody wants to think about that, but you've got to teach your kids the right name for their genitalia, penis, vagina. Say it. Even clitoris, things like that. Because unfortunately, if something does happen, if they go, well, someone touched my hoo-ha, if you don't have the right word or definition for that, like that can be really misconstrued and unfortunately can end up not getting the conviction that you want.
Yeah.
So right words, starting at a young age. Teach your kids their body parts. Teach them no means no. Teach them this is theirs and not even you get to touch it.
Yeah.
Not, as a parent, not without permission.
Yeah.
So, anywho, stick around. When we come back, we will be diving more into sexual harassment, assault, rape, things like that, definitions, and it's gonna be good, but it'll be a little heavy.
Be heavy but good.
Yeah. So see you soon.
Aren't you tired of not getting what you want in bed?
Are you ready to spice things up behind those closed doors?
Woo! We're here for you every hump day at 7 p.m.
This is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I'm Jennifer Reeves.
And I'm Hendrik Scott, and we are professional licensed sex therapists.
So remember to watch us Wednesday at 7 p.m. on Edge Radio TV, just in time for sexy time.
Edge Radio TV is holding auditions for new show hosts. Are you a subject matter expert, professional, influencer, book author, thought leader, or business owner with an educational or motivational platform? Then we want to meet you. Send a link of some of your work to edgeradio20@gmail.com and be sure to put audition in the subject line. Join the Edge Radio TV family. Edge TV, because truth still matters.
Hey guys, we're back. It is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. And your worst co-host is leading us in on this
Definitely not the worst co-host I've ever had. It's all good.
Oh man. Okay, but the lead-ins, we're Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen.
Yeah.
And maybe today we're not here to delight you. There will be a little bit of entertainment just from our bubbling, amazing personalities. But other than that, more informative.
And our phenomenal ability to make light out of terrible situations.
Oh man, I know. Like all I can hear like on this is therapists coming at us and be like, "You should not make jokes about trauma."
So funny. So we're talking about sexual assault today, because it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. But when I started working at HRT, I have a loud voice. You can hear me laughing.
Oh, that's true.
On the
I can
entire
hear you
floor.
in my office sometimes.
Yes, you can. And there's an office between the two of us. Like you can hear me laughing. And when I first started working there, I would have Manisha. Hi, Manisha.
Oh, Manisha.
She would be like, "Oh my God, what was going on in your session? You were laughing so much. What were they coming in for?" And I was like, "They were sexually assaulted when they were like 6 years old, and now they're having to see their cuts." And she's like, "How are you laughing?" And I was like, "I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's just this thing that happens with me."
I'm a big believer in we can do both.
Yeah, I concur. I'm also a big believer in the healing power of laughter.
But you can come up and then go back down. Like we're not just going to sit there and laugh the whole session, or just in life. Like I'm not going to sit there and laugh the whole time. But it's coming up for air and then going back down. And we can do that.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Fine. It's fine if you need to take a breath. Anyway, that's our
Anywho,
anyway,
she says. So let's dive into a little bit about like defining the difference between sexual harassment and sexual assault.
And aggravated sexual assault.
Aggravated sexual assault. Yes. You're going to have to explain that one a little bit more. But there's this really good article. And one thing that it does say, I really like this sentence. There's no denying that all behaviors, all the aforementioned sexual harassment, sexual assault, sexual violence, even rape, all these behaviors take advantage of power differentials in workplaces and relationships and others. You know, if well, we may get into this a little bit later, I think we will. The vast majority of rapes that occur are from somebody that you know, but even when it's not, there's still that power differential of that person viewing someone else as a weaker target,
Yeah.
as a target. So I like that sentence a lot. Like it is a power differential at the core of it, no matter which one of these is occurring.
Yeah. So how do you determine which one you have? Probably all of it. Raise your hand if it's all of it.
Right.
Harassment, offensive remarks about a person's sex,
Yeah.
unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and
Yeah.
it is illegal. I
It
wrote
is-
that down because
Yeah, it
sometimes
is-
I forget that in
Right.
certain places it is illegal.
Right.
It should not be tolerated.
Defined by the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, harassment is illegal. So illegal at work.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I know that this is equal employment. I don't know that it's illegal if someone's walking down the street and they go,
I mean, that shouldn't.
"Mommy!"
Yeah, I get that. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
people to be locked up for that. That'd be ridiculous.
Right, right, right.
Just
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Which is always fun, walking down the street.
But the
I
difference
hate walking
between
down the street.
assault and
Mhm. Well, so harassment can also include physical intimidation. So before we
That's
jump
true.
into that, and can cause a hostile work environment. Sexual assault is a criminal behavior as well, and harassment is considered a civil rights issue, which is kind of interesting.
yeah, I get that.
So,
But we, at first, whenever we were reading this, we were like, why is there a bigger punishment for aggravated sexual assault and not just sexual assault? And then I read more into it, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I get that.
yes.
Yeah, and also I was yesterday years old whenever I figured out the difference for myself, because I've never looked it up illegally, and then I was like, oh,
Me neither.
wow.
Me neither.
Yeah, no wonder you had so much trauma.
Yeah.
Long-term
Well,
standing trauma.
It's also defined differently in different states too.
Yeah.
So some of the stuff that we're going to give you is just Texas related, because we're not going to go look up all 50 states. We
Y'all gotta
love
Google, please.
that you're watching us from Georgia or from New York. Like, we love you so much. Your states also have laws. Look them up. We can just give you what Texas is, but we do love them. And also other countries. We have somebody from China that watches us sometimes. That's
Whoop,
amazing.
whoop. I know, so cool.
That's exciting. So
Yeah, sexual assault is just the penetration without the person's consent, without
Right.
explicit
Right.
consent.
It's forced sexual intercourse, attempted rape, child molestation, incest, fondling, and forcible sodomy is what this little thing
but
says.
the aggravated part, whenever that gets like a much worse sentence, which at first we did not agree with, but now I'm like, okay, I'm on it. But it's with a deadly intent.
Yeah.
Like, what the sexual violence is the deadly intent of, like, with a weapon or date rape. If you're disabled, if you're under 14, if you're elderly, like, that's added in that as well to make it aggravated.
Yeah. That's so. What happens?
What happens? Nothing. No. Okay.
No. Okay.
Things are happening. Things are
changing. Things are
definitely
looking up.
changing. Yeah.
But so for sexual assault, you can get 2 to 20 years in jail.
Yeah, and for aggravated sexual assault, 5 to 99 years.
Yeah, and that's a felony. I think sexual assault, was that a Class C misdemeanor?
I'm wondering
don't
what
remember.
would constitute 5 years with assault with a deadly
Right.
weapon and a sexual assault. Like, how does one acquire a 5-year sentence from that?
I mean, is it like if I used a gun but it was unloaded versus a loaded one?
I mean, you could still kill someone with an unloaded gun.
That's
the bitch
true.
is heavy.
That is very true.
Yeah. So I'm
Very
really not
true.
sure how this is like occurring,
Yeah.
but whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the unsolicited dick pics.
Oh yeah, nude ludes. I love that.
Okay, I don't know why. I love that they're called nude ludes.
I know. I found that out
I
yesterday
did
too.
too, yeah.
So Texas passed, I think it was in 2018, maybe 2017, I can't remember for sure, but they finally passed that it is now illegal to send unsolicited nudes.
Yeah.
So you can get a misdemeanor and a fine of up to $500, and it goes on your criminal record. So that's good. All of those random dick pics that people love to send. Guess what? Somebody can turn you in for that.
See, and we are pro sexy photos.
Look, oh yeah, but if they're wanted.
If they're wanted. Yeah.
Look, don't get me wrong. I occasionally like to receive a good dick pic from my boyfriend. And I'll ask for it when I want it. But otherwise, don't send me your shit.
No
one wants to see your pee-pee. We're going to take it all the way back to episode number 1. No one wants to see your pee-pee. No one wants to see your pee-pee.
Man.
And same thing, women, like, don't send your vag without permission, or your tits without permission. It's not okay. Other crimes that people don't realize is obviously public exposure. You know, so we make jokes about people walking down Westheimer naked. That's illegal.
Some of them, it's not sexual to them at all. They're just having a damn good time, or mentally unwell. So
I think there are parts of Texas now where women no longer have to have their nipples covered, though.
Where? I mean, I know that we have like some nudist colonies.
Yeah,
and stuff,
but I think that it's not illegal. I think we got that like several years ago. I'd have to double check it. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. But I think that women...
Free the nip? Did Free the Nip work in Texas?
think it finally did.
What?
Or at least maybe in some cities. Maybe it's not the whole state, but maybe some cities no longer require.
I mean, like Hippie Hollow in Austin, or like the other nudist places or whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Not that I'm going to tell y'all where they are, so y'all can't come find me.
Let's see. Fraudulism. People don't. So fraudulism is when somebody walks by and rubs their genitalia on you. You might experience this on a bus or a tram. That's where it tends to occur most often.
Yeah.
That is illegal. Peeping. Voyeurism without permission is illegal.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I'm not really. Okay, again, not victim blaming, but the windows, like leaving like curtains open in the house, like I've never been able to understand that. But maybe I grew up like in a mistrusting world where like I didn't grow up with trust for humanity in general. So maybe I'm just like, I don't understand why someone would feel that safe.
Yeah, but I like having my blinds open, but not whenever I'm walking around naked.
No,
like I definitely close them.
No, but just in general.
I like to let the natural light in.
Natural light.
I know she's the vampire. We said this on show 1. Once again, taking it old school. She's such a little vampire. You. But I like the natural light, the vitamin D, in more ways than one. Brevity. Shut up, Jen. Just shut up.
Man,
I like opening windows. It's fine. Yeah. So those are some stuff to know. You know, it is sexual assault. I think it's sexual assault. Somebody comes up and like grabs your ass or grabs your breasts or grabs your dick without your permission. That's sexual assault.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so some what are we getting to?
Do we have stats?
We do have stats. Let's dive into.
Did we get the stats thing?
Oh,
we have the best producer in the world, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's leave that up for a little bit. We've gotten feedback. We know you don't necessarily like them, but we're going to leave it up anyway.
So you can screenshot it if you need it or if you're interested.
So everyone is affected by sexual violence, right? This is alarming. Every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted. 73 seconds, y'all.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is just a little over a minute.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do conversion to, that is 1 minute and 13 seconds.
Yeah. And by the way, if stats bother you, just close your ears, because sometimes I would read stuff like this, like maybe a decade plus 20 years ago, and I would start counting in my head, and there was like a while where I couldn't get through life without going and it wasn't 73 seconds at that time, it was like every whatever seconds, and like in my head I would count it that way and go, someone's being raped.
Right.
And I got really like, woo, I need to let that go. And had to like process to let that go. So if you hold on to stats, just, hold your ears or listen to my sweet voice. Yeah. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. 1 in 2 women have experienced sexual violence other than rape in their lifetime. It's 50% of women.
Yeah.
That I have.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yay. That's always fun. Wasn't raped, but sexually assaulted. Let's see. 1 out of every 10 rape victims are male. That's an important stat to know. This doesn't just happen to women. I think on
it's
our
much
show,
higher. I think 1 in 10 is a low ball.
I think there's a lot less reporting that men do. Yeah. We on our show really want to make sure that we're not just a voice for women, and we're not just a voice for men.
I'm genderqueer anyway, so
we want to be a voice for as many people as we possibly can be. And recognize, like, we're not just 2 hens up here cackling about men. Like, 1 out of every 10 rape victims are male, probably higher.
I would bet my life on higher.
Yeah. 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before they turn 16.
For sure.
So it like, have you ever watched like parents or listened to parents and they're so worried when their little daughter goes to the restroom that they have to go with them, right? But they will let their 6 or 7-year-old little boy go to the restroom by themselves.
Yeah, or just anywhere or places.
Right.
I have to tell my parents all the time because I'll ask just out of curiosity. I was a sex educator. I'm like, have you talked to your kids about it? And they're like, oh, I talked to my daughter. I'm like, what about your son?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, well, he's going to do it anyway. And I'm like, oh, man, like, come on. No.
I mean, people were so up in arms about the whole like bathroom thing and transgendered and whatever. We'll get into that another time because I have a soapbox on that shit. But that is one of the things where I'm like, dude, it is not just your fucking little girls.
That to the mic.
Sorry. Soapbox. So, 1 in 6 boys. Nearly 50% of trans people are sexually assaulted at some point in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Again, just got on this bathroom soapbox. They're actually more likely to be assaulted than the other way around. 40% of gay men and 47% of bisexual men have experienced sexual violence. And of victims under the age of 18, 34% of victims of sexual assault and rape are under age 12, and 66% are age 12 through 17. So, yikes. Everyone's affected. You know someone who's been affected.
For sure.
I
didn't get into like the whole, like I didn't like start hashtagging Me Too or anything, but I appreciated what it did because I was like, I've already told everyone in my life like 1,000 times. I just can't keep telling all 400 of my stories. Like I'm pretty over it.
Right.
That's why I like didn't really want the social media commentary on it for me personally.
Right.
But like I appreciated it because it was like, well, everyone, and we have to pay attention or nothing's going to change.
Yeah. Agreed. So, yeah, you got to pay attention.
Oh, are getting clients in that they clearly don't know how to deal with a partner with trauma.
Oh yeah.
Man, I have to be like, look, there's no handbook to be with someone who's dealt with trauma, and you need to take a step back and be like, she's not just fucking crazy, or he's not just fucking depressed or fucking crazy. You know, like there's shit that's going on, and we have to be aware of it so that we can help our partners.
Yes,
and be there for them and show up for them.
Yep, definitely. So we're going to take our next break. When we come back, we're going to really dive into consent and how to give it, how to get it, what it is, and all of that. So stay tuned. We will be right back with Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen on Edge Radio TV.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
I'm trying not to lose my head.
Hey, this is the Talk About Unity show where I bring the talk.
And I bring the unity.
And together we talk about unity.
Unity is what matters.
Come on.
And right now in our country, that's what we've got to do. So we do that here. Talk About Unity on the Edge Radio Network. Be with us every week.
It's going to be awesome. It always is. And I tell you what, the more we seek first to understand, then be understood, we make progress.
And we like to do that. And that's why everybody's on the brink. We love what we do at Edge Radio because everybody's on the edge. We bring them back from the edge and we bring the unity. So we're just glad. Edge Radio Network every Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. Talk About Unity because here at Edge Radio Network, truth still matters.
Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Welcome back to Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen on Edge Radio TV. I am Jennifer Reeves.
Oh, me. I'm Hendrix Scott. I am Hendrix motherfucking Scott. And we're here to entertain you and educate you and all of the things on sexual assault awareness. We know it's not like the funnest topic, but I swear you need this information and it'll help you and it'll help your friends and all the stuff. So we're going to talk about consent. Big topic, because I help people date a lot. Oh, it's okay. We'll give her a minute. It's okay. You can just let people, unwind on their own. Woo! So, and I get a lot, and I see, because, I see a lot of men, and they're like, asking me all the time about, like, feeling like creeps or, whatever.
Right.
So anyway, we'll get into consent and help y'all. But we found this TikTok that I think is just, have you watched it yet?
I have, yeah. You, like, when you first
it is on
it's good.
Point. It's on
good.
point.
It's
so
good.
our producer Vince is going to play it for us so that y'all can see it.
I have a couple questions for the boys, just to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. So when a woman's nudes are leaked, that's hot. Everybody wants to see them. But when she posts promiscuous photos herself, that makes you uncomfortable. When somebody's sex tape is leaked, you've got the tissues and the lotion ready. But when they make an OnlyFans, they belong to the streets. So are you only comfortable with women being sexualized when it's under your control? Or is it the lack of consent that turns you on?
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Preach it, girl.
Preach it, girl. We love you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I loved that one.
Yeah. She explains it so well, and she's beautiful.
Oh, whew. Yeah. I wouldn't
Like,
kick
just-
her out of bed for eating crackers. But I wouldn't kick a lot of people out. Anyway, we're on to the next one.
Because she gives consent.
Yeah, I do. Fucking yeah, I do.
Fucking yeah, I do.
Man.
So definitely like
consent. We were not taught it. We absolutely in our age group were not taught about it. It was expected, and you just did it. You just like closed your eyes and you just did it.
Yeah, oh man, let me just tell you. Okay, I love you, mother. I love you. But when I was in high school, I had just turned 18, was just about to graduate, and I snuck out for the first time in my entire life. Little angel.
At 18.
I was. And I snuck out and went on a ride with this guy that I was dating. His name was Chris. He was a drummer in a band. He was super cute, and he had graduated the year before me. And I was giving him head in the car. And, oh my God, he just took so long. So he didn't finish, and I was like, all right, I'm bored. And I want to go home. Yeah. So he took me home, and I told my mom the next day. I snuck out of the house, and she said, "What'd you do?" And I said, "Well, I met up with Chris, and I gave him a blowjob." And then she was like, "Oh, okay." And she asked if I finished him, and I was like, "No, he was taking too long," and my jaw started to hurt. Yeah. And she looked at me, and she's like, "Jen Renee, you always finish. You never." Oh my God. I know. And I was like, and at the time, like, I was like, oh my God. She said, if you don't finish them, you don't know what could happen. They might force you to, or they might do something. Oh my God,
this is the worst.
I know. So my little 18-year-old little self, virginal girl, I was still a virgin. I'd done a lot of other things, but I hadn't had sex. And
wow, we have two totally different stories.
I was totally preached to, like, if you start it, you finish it. I now know, as a 38-year young woman, that you can fucking say no anytime you want. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't, pan, trans, whatever. Anytime you start something, you can always say, okay, I'm done with this.
Absolutely.
But I did not know that at the time. And so, I made different choices from there on out. I was not going to start something I wasn't willing to finish. No, but come on, it took him so long and my jaw started hurting.
Yeah, and people can be responsible for their own pleasure and well-being. It's like, if you want it that bad, just you have fun with that.
Exactly.
Like,
he was driving while I was giving it to him, so it wasn't like I was receiving a whole hell of a lot in return either. So I was like, well, this isn't really fun for me anymore.
Man. But yes, defining consent, it is freely given, knowledgeable, and informed consent. You have to be informed about what you are consenting to.
Which is huge, right? So, and it is a must, not a privilege. So freely given, knowledgeable, and informed. So there are a couple of different words that go along with that. So let's talk about them. There's assent.
Mm-hmm.
So assent is agreement on the face of it, which means you are not knowledgeable or informed. So some examples of that might be if a woman tells you she's on birth control and she is not.
Yeah.
That is not consensual sex.
Man, it just grinds my gears on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like now we're talking about possibly making life that was not
Right.
in any way like the intention of the
Yep.
person who was engaging in the sexual act. Like that's a big ass consent to take away from people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. If you have an STI and you don't disclose it, that is not consensual.
I know it sucks,
I know
y'all.
it's hard.
I know it sucks. I know, like, I've had people tell me, and like, I could just see the fear, and I'm like, man, all right, you know, that's it's a lot, but we have, like, we have to be able to hear it. We have to teach ourselves that, like, we have to react in a respectable way in order for people to tell us.
Yeah.
And, like, then people have to be able to say it.
Yeah. If a partner tells you they're monogamous, but they're actually sleeping with other people, that's not informed or knowledgeable. That is not consensual sex that you are having with any of them.
Yeah.
Like, so other, I think you talked about stealthing.
Ooh, stealthing. Yeah, that's a big word that's happening right now. Whenever the guy puts on a condom, but like make sure the room's dark, and then right before he penetrates the girl, he takes the condom off, and then she's none the wiser because it's dark and you know.
Right.
Which I mean, condoms are really obvious to me.
I don't know.
Maybe people are drunk or high, or, you know, it's dark. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know all the circumstances in stealthing, but it sounds wild to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
But also, I love that sounds wild to me, but in, like, our generation, like, no one was using condoms. Like,
true.
Like, come on. If you're in your 30s plus, get out of here. Like, when y'all were younger, it was probably not that.
Yeah.
In your repertoire of sexual activity.
So as far as consent is concerned and assent, it's not consent if at any point in time or any part of the sexual experience something is hidden or lied about. So if you hide that you're married, if you withhold information, whatever, it's not consensual sex.
True.
So the next one is acquiescence. So acquiescence is agreement under duress. So this also includes acquiescence is included if you agree even while you're drunk or high. So that's actually not considered consensual sex either. I know that's a rocky subject because a lot of people do, like, they might say, well, I'm going to have sex with you, but I need a couple glasses of wine first.
Yeah.
And so then they follow through with it or whatever. And so some people might say, well, is that consent or not? And you know,
I think a really good. Have you watched the new Demi Lovato documentaries?
I have not.
Oh, Demi, we would look so cute together. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, right.
Acquiescence and drugs and alcohol.
It came out that the night she overdosed on heroin and crack, everyone, like, that was an unexpected, like, thing to hear.
Yeah,
it was like, oh shit. Her drug dealer sexually assaulted her, and she was saying she thought it was initially consensual because she was like, well, I mean, he was at my house and I kind of remember. She was like, she just kind of remembered something. It was like, I guess I did. And then someone had to explain to her, you were on heroin and crack and passed out.
Yeah.
Like, the memory that she had, she was sleeping, like, she was like just looking up and like out of body experience. It's like, that is rape.
Yeah, definitely.
If the person you're having sex with is sleeping and they didn't tell you before they fell asleep that they like that kind of thing and that's their kink, like, then, damn.
Yeah. Yes.
Man.
And again, even if you said beforehand, hey, we're gonna get it on tonight, let's do some X first. And then in the middle of doing ecstasy, for some reason, you're like, yeah, I'm not feeling it, so we're not gonna.
Has anyone ever? Anyway, that's a different
Well,
subject.
I will say, so I do have this story. Like, maybe I shouldn't tell them.
I don't know. Walk lightly.
Before I was a therapist, I may have smoked weed once or twice in my life. And there was a guy that I was hooking up with. And I told him, you know, yeah, come over, we're gonna hook up. And I got really high. And then looked over at him and was like, you know, we're not having sex tonight, right? Like, but the plan was we were going to.
Yeah.
But I recognized, even as high as I was,
to say something.
And he was obviously really upset about it, but he respected it. And I was like, thank God, because that could have gone really, really badly.
Yeah, that's another thing that
But-
was used against our generation. It was this savior thing. And I'm going to go men a little bit on this just because it was so prevalent and it was so true, is that you were kind of told not to upset the guy. And if he's upset, then you have to appease his feelings.
Yep.
And I'm still working with people to be like, you know what? Your partner out, and now it's like beyond all the genders, is allowed to be upset.
Yeah,
You don't have to just like bow down and go do it. And on a much more global aspect other than just sex.
Well, and in heterosexual relationships, men, guess what? You're allowed to tell your female partner that you're not in the mood.
Oh my God, yeah.
I know that sounds like a lot of guys come in and they're like, I'm just not in the mood sometimes, but
Of course you aren't.
Of course not. You're allowed to not be.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. So acquiescence is under duress. So anytime someone says, okay, fine, just to get you to shut up because you've been pressuring them, guess what? That's not consensual sex. That's sex under acquiescence.
It's weird. It's
And
weird.
it doesn't
and
feel
it's
good.
happening with married couples a lot
Yes.
more than people think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, I hear this.
I hear that this
often.
couple walks through my door a lot.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the person who's doing the acquiescing, is that a word?
Acquiescing? Yes.
From my experience, doesn't seem to care. Like, there's kind of like a level of care that's not there. Of like, well, you know, this is how it should be. I should say I'm upset and I want to have sex and like it be on demand.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it shouldn't.
No.
No one's body should ever be on demand to you.
Right. Your body is yours. It belongs to no one else's, and it is not anybody else's. Right. You are not chattel.
What?
You're not chattel. Look. So we have a joke in my friends group where I'm sorry, I love y'all. Several years ago, a couple that used to be married, they're no longer married. Not because of this, but the boys were playing like disc golf in our group of friends, and they always play money. And one of them had said, look, okay, I don't have any more money on me, but if I make this shot, you get my wife. And it was a joke.
Yeah.
And so, but there was t-shirts that were made that was said chattel on it. So, yeah, chattel.
Okay, but that's funny. Like, we can joke about
It
that.
is. It's funny.
And also, if that's your kink, go for it. We're not saying don't consensually do these things. Just, we're saying safe, consensual,
consensual, sane sex.
Now there's another term. I forgot it off the top of my head, but it's whatever.
Yeah. So, and to also get, so how to give and consent, how to ask for and give. Like, it doesn't sound very sexy, but it really is important to just be like, hey, do I have consent to touch you here? Or can I touch you here? And you don't have to say the word.
I don't think I would say the word consent. I would be, because I mean, again, because I'm of the older generation, so I've never experienced that type of consent. Like the younger generation is like saying that. Like, I think I would be put off by it.
Yeah, I get that. But to still to ask, like, you know,
there's a nice way to, or just like, hey, are we cool? Like, is the yes, like, is this okay?
Yeah, is
like,
this okay?
That's fine. Take a breath.
Yeah.
Like, if you're kind of just, it's only you going for your partner, stop. And if they're coming to you as well, that's also like another signal. Like, if you stop and they sit on the other side of the room or like distance themselves from you, might mean they needed a breath.
Yeah. How to give it. If the other person doesn't ask it, but you want them to know, doesn't directly act it, but you want them to know, you can touch me here if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And that can be sexy.
Yeah.
Giving consent can definitely be incredibly sexy.
Yeah. And if there's something way off the table, say it on your date.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh man, anal not for me. Like, you know,
definitely.
You just say it. And that's fine. It should just be accepted.
Yeah.
If you get pushback of like, well, I guess we aren't getting married, then it's like, okay.
Okay. Don't want to have sex
marry
with
your fugly ass anyway. Oh wait, sorry, we don't say fugly anymore. It's politically incorrect.
Oy vey. So you know, I think it is different in this day and age on how to give and receive, because people didn't do a whole lot of verbalizing of giving and receiving, even when we were younger, and the way that we were taught and things like that.
We weren't taught jack shit. Yeah.
No, we were taught, you make sure you finish him, Jen Renee. Like, that's when
I would be told, you're not going to get a man with that mouth. Like, I should shut up. I got told that, like, from like a little girl. I was told like, oh, you're not going to get a man if you keep talking like that.
Yeah, I cuss a lot, so I was definitely told that's so unladylike.
Or
My dad hates it.
Or I would say like, I don't like that, and he'd be like, oh shh.
Yeah, you're not allowed to. Anywho,
Wow. Yeah.
We're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about like why people don't report, because the vast majority of people really don't, and why that is. And then we'll go into how to help people that you may know, things to say and not to say to survivors.
Yeah, you
And-
might be saying some like really messed up shit that you don't even know that you're saying to just make it worse.
For real.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen.
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information. And you know, my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. You know, I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay,
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
Hey guys, welcome back. This is Jen and Hen. No, that's not it. We're Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen. I can't do it.
We are about
Somebody give me a sign.
4 months into doing this show on a weekly basis. Get your shit together.
I know.
I have no room to speak. Obviously, Dr. Pepper Girl over here that just can't stop laughing at times.
Man, okay. Well,
Inappropriate.
this is Sex on the Edge with Jen and Hen with Edge Radio.
Yeah.
And today we're talking about
Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Yeah.
So we're going to finish off this topic. Why people don't report. And I mean, look, oh my God, 75% of instances of sexual assault go unreported. Like 3/4 of them go unreported. I know I didn't report mine, not to anybody really. Like I reported mine to, it was somebody from work, and I used to hang out with him all the time, and we would hang out with 2 other guys. So 3 guys and me that would go to lunch all the time and all of those stuff. I told the other 2 guys in the group, and I was the one that got kicked out of going to lunch. The 3 guys continued to go to lunch. They did not stand up for me, and it was a terrible experience. I lost my friends, like who I thought were my friends.
Yeah, I didn't
all at
even know
once.
for years until Oprah, my mom's. Oprah, please adopt me. I've been saying this for years, by the way. I've done like a million things on sexual assault, and I always put at the end of my presentations by Hendrik Scott and Oprah Winfrey, my mom's. Because I didn't know until she looked at me on camera and said, if you said no, it was rape. And I was just sitting there as like a very young person of just like, I didn't know. And I had no idea. And I'll never forget that moment. And I was like, in that moment, she like saved my whole fucking life.
Yeah. if you couldn't say no.
Yeah, and I had no idea. Like, I was carrying all of this weird
Yeah.
stuff, like very strange things happened for a very long time.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like, oh.
Yeah,
so
that's
then,
huge.
well, people, it also goes unreported because you just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. I've had lots of clients that have come through my door and they'll tell me a story and I'm like, that was rape, right?
Oh God, I've had to tell people that. It sucks every time.
It does every time. So why people don't report? Those are some of the reasons why. But also fear of retaliation, belief the assault was a personal matter. I don't even know what the hell
it's between you and that person.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Belief that the police would not do anything to help. Like, this is, I didn't look up the stat and never mind. Shut up, Jen. I know someone who was a police officer who regularly assaulted their child sexually. And so, of course, she did not feel safe to go to the police.
Yeah, of course.
Because he would tell her, who's going to believe you?
For sure.
I'm a police officer. So that's scary. Belief that the police could not do anything to help. Did not want to get the offender in trouble with law, especially if it's somebody that you know and you care for and they raped you. Like, there's this mindset that goes on, well, I just don't want them to get in trouble.
It's a complete mindfuck because you can be in love with your abuser.
Oh, yeah.
Or you can, like, whatever. I feel like somebody came up with a better word than in love, but...
Like Stockholm Syndrome?
Yeah, I mean, so you're not going to, like, tattle on the person you love. And you don't want them to go away because you love them. And it's weird.
Yeah. Did not think that they had enough proof to report.
Yeah.
Yep. And did not want family to know or find out. And now here's the fucked up shit about it, right? Like, not that none of this is fucked up, but out of every 1,000 sexual assaults, 995 perpetrators will walk free. And so, of course, with some of that, we'll believe that the police won't or could not do anything. I mean, when only 5% actually, or only 5 people out of 1,000 actually end up having some sort of consequence for it.
Wow.
That is a hard number to take.
Yeah.
Hard. Ugh.
Yeah.
230 are reported to police. 46 reports lead to a arrest. I did that yesterday too. A West. 9 cases get referred to prosecutors. 5 cases will lead to a felony conviction, and 4.6 rapists will go to prison for their crime. We need to do a better job.
Better job. Much better job.
Definitely need to do a
It's
better
happening.
job.
I appreciate the things that are happening. It's just we got to keep doing this better job. And sometimes even I just want to put little earmuffs on and be like, I can't listen to it anymore. I cannot listen to any more of this shit. But you can take a break. Okay, I have to tell people this with who are politically active or who think they're politically active. It's a different subject. You can take a break. You don't have to keep watching all this traumatic shit all the time in order to do better, because doing better means doing better for the people that you personally know.
Right.
It means being informed so that you can help educate the people around you.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you got to worry about.
Yeah.
And keep it close.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, but things that people should not say. Do we want to get into that?
That made me sad. I'm sad now.
It's okay.
Oh.
Do we need to breathe?
Yeah, maybe let's all just take a deep breath together.
And we also took a shot, so...
Probably should have grabbed another one.
I know! Damn. Not that we're supporting, do not use alcohol to Band-Aid or anything.
Look, you know what? Okay.
No, we can go down this tangent. We can't.
I don't think it's that terrible of a thing to every once in a while be like, you know what? I just want to drink.
Yeah.
I want to drink tonight. It's been a hard day, and I want to drink tonight. Look, everything in moderation. That's what Socrates said. Everything in moderation. He would get just as down on people who would get drunk all the time as he would people who never drink. And look, if you don't drink, that's more power to you. But I hate it when people are like, oh my God, you need a drink. That means you're an alcoholic. No, I just occasionally like to have a nice little drink. It's relaxing. Anywho. Things to say and not to say to survivors.
Man, y'all pay attention to what you're saying, because some of this shit is not as traumatic as the event, but it fucking stabs you right in the fucking...
It does. I mean, yeah. So things to avoid saying, and this is just a few of them. We can definitely make a laundry list of all of them, but it happened so long ago. Shouldn't you be over it? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, somebody told you were ugly in the 6th grade and you're 45 and still crying about it. So how about you try getting raped and then being like, you know what? Like, I should just be over that.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It could have been worse. Oh man, it could always be worse. Sure.
Yeah, I could have died, but like I didn't, and so now I have to deal with this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But also, like, just because somebody's situation may quote unquote be worse doesn't invalidate your situation or the shit that you have gone through.
Yeah.
And that is one of the biggest things that drives me nuts is like when other people say, well, I went through this, so I don't know why you're complaining. Or even people come in and they feel that way about themselves. I shouldn't really be complaining because it was only once. That's all it takes, man.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. So, you know.
And there's enough room in this world for all of our trauma.
Yeah. It really is. Don't feel that way. Just stay positive.
Oh, the toxic positivity fucking shit that's been going around, that grinds my gears too.
Yeah. The other one that's on this list, man, that is probably.
Oh, the last one?
Oh,
don't
gag.
even. Oh, I could go on for days.
Gag with a spoon.
Everything happens
with a spoon
for a reason.
Why a spoon, cousin? Yeah, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. Can you tell me the reason for this? To make me stronger? God wouldn't hand you anything you couldn't handle.
I can't stand that. I can't.
know.
Oh man.
But that doesn't mean like, yeah, but I still have to handle it.
You still have to process it. You still have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You still have to walk through this really shitty fucking thing that was not your fault and that you had no control over, and now you have to deal with somebody else's shitty fucking behavior.
Yes. Conversely, I struggle with this as a sex therapist. I have couples that come through the door, and I've had a lot of, I'm going to say it, cisgendered male heterosexual clients. And they will say things like, well, my partner was raped or sexually assaulted, and I really think that's why they have these sexual issues.
Oh, like the self-diagnosers or the diagnosers?
Well, but blaming like their sexual assault is why they have sexual issues. People that have had sexual assault, again, like we talked about this, 1 in 2 women have been sexually assaulted, not necessarily rape. So 1 in 2 women, and I can tell you like 50% of women don't have fucked up sex lives. They are who they are. So you are just as likely to be into sex as not into sex, whether you were raped or not raped. You're just as likely to be into the BDSM community, whether you were assaulted or not assaulted, which is another, like people automatically think, oh, you're into BDSM because you were sexually assaulted.
And people are dumb.
People are dumb.
Yeah.
We're here to smarten you up. SMRT in.
Also, I feel like it's a cop-out for the people who are like, oh, it's their sexual assault, especially whenever the person didn't say it themselves, or it's like then they just don't want to take responsibility for what they're doing to make the sexual situation worse, and like put it all on this like hill of like, this is why.
Yeah, so people who say, I was sexually assaulted, this is how it does affect me, take them for their word. People who say, I was sexually assaulted, it doesn't affect me in this area, take them for their word.
Yeah.
Like that's, don't automatically diagnose, well, there must be, this is the reason why. Things that you can say to survivors, and comforting things, like the simplest statements can just go a really long way if you say it in a caring manner. So I believe you. I believe you is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Big one.
Yeah.
Lead with that.
Yeah.
Lead with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's not being led with in most conversations.
Doesn't matter what you were wearing. Doesn't matter where you were. Doesn't matter who you were with or what you were drinking, smoking, snorting, chewing, sucking.
You're going through all of it. Okay.
Trying to go through all of them.
Yep.
It's not your fault.
Not your fault.
Not your fault. You didn't ask for it. I'm here for you. It's a good one.
Yeah, you didn't deserve it, and we'll get through this together.
I love that we'll get through this together. Yes, if especially if it's somebody that is your partner, being able to say, we'll get through this together, or a family member, like a mom or a dad. If you're telling it to your mom or dad, like, comfort your kid. We'll get through this together. Don't make their trauma your trauma. I know that's really hard because there is secondary PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, secondary PTSD. You right.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if like the person just experienced it and then they tell you you're getting secondary PTSD from like someone you love having to go through that, and it's awful.
Yeah, it is. So help your person with the primary PTSD, and then take your secondary PTSD to a different therapist or a different person to, it's obviously not your story to share. So don't take it to a mutual friend and be like, oh my God, did you just hear about Jolene? Not okay.
Yeah.
Not okay.
But, man, how much time we got?
We got 3 minutes.
3 minutes. And I am excited for, at the end of this month, should be one of my besties, Tyler. Hey, Tyler. If you see me and Tyler out, you can't sit with us.
You have to wear pink if you're going to sit with us. Pink on Wednesdays. Okay, mean girls.
I know.
Jeez.
So he might be here to talk about sex trafficking and shit.
Oh
man,
huge.
He's so good. He knows shit because he works at a teen inpatient.
He works for Center for Success and Independence still?
I can't remember the name of it, but I'm sure that's it.
Okay. I think he used to, which I used to work for, so we may.
Yeah, but it's inpatient. I mean, teaching kids how to deal with this.
Yeah,
because they're coming in with zero knowledge on any of this. So we're not joking. Go talk to your kids about this shit. You might be able to keep them from going down a hole that.
Yeah, for sure.
You didn't intend for them to by trying to shield them from life.
Yes. So we do want to get a resources page up for you guys and leave it up there for a little bit. So the National Sexual Assault Hotline, 1-800-656-4673. Planned Parenthood, if you are raped, there's nothing wrong with if you want to go take Plan B or get checked out for STIs and all of that. 1-800-230-7526. victimconnect.org, the National Teen Dating Abuse Helpline, and the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Unfortunately, a lot of people who are assaulted do consider suicide at one point in time. And just remember, you're not alone. I mean, everyone is affected.
Yeah.
Everyone. You don't know someone who has not been assaulted. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
So that was a great episode. That was heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy. But
necessary.
It's a necessary heaviness. Out of respect for survivors of sexual assault, we are going to skip the sex position of the week this week.
Yeah. I mean, and also some of them are kind of jarring to look at.
Yeah.
So we're already thinking about, and then Yeah.
So we will be back next week with the next sex position of the week. But for this week, you're seen, you're loved. We're here for you. And to get in contact,
and we believe you.
We definitely believe you.
Yeah.
Yes. To get in contact with Hendrix and I, there's our fun little contact page.
Woo! Look, I finally did
Hendrix
it.
made it.
Yay!
She's amazing. So Houston Relationship Therapy.
Look at my half-talented
self.
Therapy.
Hendrix at Houston Relationship Therapy. Sex on the Edge on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we're on YouTube. They're finally doing the. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, actually, maybe it was just us who didn't realize they were on YouTube.
Oh, I know they're on YouTube.
Yeah, well, we
Sometimes,
forgot to advertise.
Well, I actually did create a Sex on the Edge YouTube page, and I would share it to that page, and I haven't since January.
Yeah, we don't know.
I forget. I'm not the social media
Again, we're just
queen.
here to delight and entertain you. Anything past that, it's whatever.
Yeah. So thanks for sticking with us on this heavy, heavy day. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully, we'll let you know. We'll keep you up to date. Follow our page, Sex on the Edge, to know if we are going to be here next week or not. Hopefully, Hendrix does not feel too sick from shot number 2. And if we are, we will be here with Janelle Marie Pierce talking about the STI project. And this woman, I can't wait. I follow her on Facebook. She is, she's us.
Awesome.
She's our people.
I'm excited.
She's
super excited. I think I'll bounce back. I'll be good.
Okay.
All
So
right.
until then, happy consensual humping.